Yo, what's up, everyone? So, a new anime tower defense game recently came out. It's called Anime Last Stand. I do feel that it's fun and exciting, but it might be a little confusing for some people. So, I'm just gonna try to explain everything and, from progression to techniques, just, helping people out end game and early game, just in case you're lost or you just feel like there's nothing left to do. So, first, when you start out, the first thing you should do is join the group. It gives you 100 extra starting cash every time you start up a round or an act or something. It's really helpful if you're trying to do harder stages and you need that extra $100. So make sure you join the group. Another thing you should do is redeem the codes, which the codes are very helpful because they give you around 7,000 gems. If some of them do not work, like they say like they've already been redeemed or whatnot, just join a public server, or make a private server, because some of them only work in private servers and some of them only work in public servers. There are other codes besides the ones that I put up on screen, but those are like YouTuber codes, so you can go ahead and look those up if you need them. The codes also give you 45 technique shards on top of the gems, which are very useful because those technique shards are used to roll techniques, and techniques are very helpful. After that, go to the summon area and just summon for a mythic. If it's a good mythic, I would recommend summoning. If not, then just wait for a good one to come onto the banner, because a good mythic can help you a lot with early, like the first couple story acts, and depending on what it is, it could probably carry you throughout the entire game, just depending on which one it is. After you summon, I would recommend going to the technique area and spinning on the unit that you get. If you get only like a legendary or something, I wouldn't recommend wasting them on them, because the legendaries aren't really used endgame, and you would just kind of be wasting them. Because 45 is a lot, it may seem, but you can get through them pretty quickly if you don't get anything good. And, a lot of the techniques are good, even if they aren't, like, they don't say they're good, they are still pretty good. And, you can always roll off of them if you're intending on buying, like, if you intend on buying more, you can just roll off of something if you get something, like, alright. But I would recommend, like, sticking with something even decent, because you don't need something insane just to get through the game. And I'm just rolling off of everything just so you guys can see like what I actually get, because some of the things I got were pretty good and I would keep, but I don't really care because it's not even on my main account. So once you finish rolling all your techniques, I would go to the story mode and start doing the story, because that's how you basically progress through the entire game. And there's only 4 story acts, so they're pretty easy to get through. You can probably get through all of them in like an hour, maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little less depending on what you have. And the story gives you a lot of gems from the quests that you can claim, and also just from completing them. And if you get a good unit like I did, like Sukuna, he's really good just because he also hits airs and he just does a good amount of damage. He also does bleed, which just adds to that damage, but the airs is basically like the biggest part, because a lot of the mythics like do not hit airs, or they don't until they're like really upgraded. And airs can be a pretty big problem, especially if you don't have the money for them. And story can get pretty hard once you're later in the game, but once you do story, it's kind of just, go from there. While I'm doing the story act, I feel like I should just explain some things about the game, and just some things that, like, you'll learn as you go. So currently there's 7 mythics: Sukuna, Itachi, Gojo, Yamamoto, Speedwagon, Whitebeard, and Yami. And then there's also units called Celestials, which can only be unlocked in the second banner, and there's currently 5 of them, and those are Guts, Gon, Oshi, Saitama, and Roy Mustang. Oshi and Gon are mainly support. Gon can be used as a damage unit if you need him to, but he's mostly going to be used as a support in infinite modes. Gojo, Yami, and Speedwagon are also supports, but they Speedwagon isn't as much of a support because he's mostly just a farm unit, and Oshi also fulfills, like, can fill the spot of Speedwagon as a farm unit. Sukuna is currently the only unit in the game with an evolution. His evolution is very good, but you do need to grind for a while if you're not lucky with it, because you need 12 cursed fingers, which you can get from doing the challenges in the lobby. The challenges aren't always the same, so just be careful of that. And just make sure you always have a decent team, or just have multiple people running with you at the same time to make it quicker. If you're looking for a good way to get gems endgame and you have the units to solo all of the story, I would recommend doing Act 1 of Namek on Nightmare mode, especially because the Nightmare mode gives you a lot more gems, but they are way harder to do. So if you do need gems and you're pretty endgame, I would recommend going onto the Namek Act 1 and just replaying it over and over again. And another good way is to just go through all of your quests, because they also give you a lot of technique shards and just a lot of gems in general. So you can probably, I'm pretty sure you can get over 40 extra technique shards just by doing your quests. And I'm pretty sure they don't refresh, but still, like, that's still a lot of technique shards that you can get for free. Another good way, or another good thing to do endgame, is leveling up your skill tree. I would be careful though if you're trying to get your skill tree up on Sukuna. Just be careful, because once you evolve him, his skill tree and unit level both reset back to 0, and it's kind of a waste of time because I kind of grinded mine to like almost max, and then I evoed him and then it got reset. So just be careful when you're grinding for him that it will end up resetting if you do evolve on, like, or plan on evolving him. But every other unit, just, try to go for your skill tree, because it can give you a big stat increase. But it is up to you, like, what path you want to go on your skill tree. It's kind of just personal. I like to go down the middle, because in my opinion, that's the best. But some people like the right side, some people like the left side. It's basically just up to you. Another thing that's in the game are typings. So there's certain, like, elemental types is what they're called. They're basically just like, it basically just depends on what you have, because like certain types do more damage against other types. It's kind of just like Pokemon. Like, if you understand how that works, you should understand how this works. It's kind of like the same concept. There are also effects that your units can put on enemies. Those are like bleed, slow, crippled, dismantled, burn, slow, freeze, electrified, weakened. Those are like the main ones. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of it for the video. I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys do need help with other things, or you guys would like to see other things on this game, then let me know. Uh, if you have like a friend or something that needs help, just send them the video. It explains most of the basics of the game. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys soon.